thing that Tony was saying just a moment ago, Joyce and I were talking about, I think yesterday, was about the value of little details. That if you don't want to do the research, some of these guys, they want to buy stocks, but they don't want to do no research. They just want to tell, hey, what should I buy? And if you don't want to do the research and understand the little details, you deserve to be poor. You deserve to lose whatever little money you have if you can't be bothered to understand how business works and understand how when the economy changes and when political environments change, et cetera, that some businesses are going to do better and other businesses are going to do worse. And if you can't be bothered to make the effort to understand that, then it's no problem. Just be poor. Just be poor and accept a low place in the world. And other people who understand the little details, they will have all the success that you could have had. They'll live in the house that you could have lived in. It'll be a big, beautiful house. They'll live in a big, beautiful house that you could have lived in with a petite, beautiful woman. And they have the nice cars and all the nice things that you could have had. But you couldn't be bothered to learn the little details. You couldn't bother to do your research. Couldn't bother to do the little boring things that nobody wants to do. But the people that do the little boring things repetitively, they tend to have the best outcomes over time. And people who they want to understand things at a very superficial level, have a very low level of understanding, you're going to have a very low level of outcome. And instead of having the nicest house with the nicest woman, you probably live in a small house with a very big woman. And she settled for you, so she'll settle for anybody else too. So there's no reason she would be faithful to someone who's such a loser they can't be bothered to study or have any commitment to their own success. We were talking about that just earlier today at lunch, that some people, they want you to be committed to their success, but they are not even committed to their success. They will not make the effort to be more successful. So if you're one of those people, if you have no commitment to real success, you don't want to study, you don't want to do the boring things repetitively, then just be poor. And that'll be your life, because you didn't want to study. Because you don't want to do the boring little things, read the financial statements, understand what's happening in the world every day of the year, every day. Have you seen people be very successful who didn't want to study?
I was going to see if I can step in.
Please do.
It's followed, like we were talking earlier, follow the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you give the recipe and people are like, oh, no, I'm going to try my own way.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand if you already know what you're doing. But if I'm learning from you, I'm a beginner, and you tell me to do something, and I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to try a different way, see if it works. Mm-hmm. Why? It's like, follow the recipe. It works. Look at you. You did it. You see, you're showing people how to do it, and people did it.
I think a very important thing is something we talked about early today as well, is I don't have this mental illness that a lot of people seem to have, that I want to do it my way. I just want to do it the best way. So when I'm learning finance, I want to learn what are the best things in finance for me to understand. What are the most important principles? What are the things I must always do? What are the things I must never do? And I don't need to do it my way. I want to do it the best way. When I want to learn jiu-jitsu, you're training with me since I was a white belt. You start training with me very early. I ever argue with you when you tell me, hey, do like this? Do I argue with you about it, or I just do?
You just do it. Sometimes you say, okay, this is a little too flexible for me, Royce. I'm not going to use it, but at least you learn. Yeah. You know, like we talked earlier, yesterday we talked about that. Like when we were training, like at least learn to see what's coming at you. You know. You might not use it, but you know.
I think a very nice compliment that one of my coaches gave me, which doesn't sound like a compliment to some people, but I understood. Lyoto Machida, we were on stage together, and one of my clients at a live event asked him, how is Derek as the student? When Derek is the student and you are teaching him, how does he behave then? And he said, Derek is very obedient. And for some people, they maybe don't like that. They don't like that word maybe. It's like their father, telling them they have to do something. But I think the way I understood it and the way that Lyoto was raised, and I think he meant it, is a very good thing, that I try to pay attention to the detail. I try to understand very deeply what he has tried to teach me, what you try to teach me, my other great instructors would
It
try to
might be a
teach me.
little lost on translation over there for some people because this is Brazilian, so obedient means yes, you pay attention, you listen, you. If we tell you to do something, you're gonna go ahead and do it. You see, yeah, that's what he probably meant. Yes.
I understood this to be a very good compliment that I never took in a bad way, but some other people maybe they don't understand, the way that he would mean that. I thought it was a very good compliment that Derek pays attention, follows instructions. I thought this is a very good thing. So I echo what Royce said a moment ago. Is if you want to do everything your way, what's the probability that your way is the best way to do everything in life? No one is that smart. Nobody, ever. So you have to learn from the experts who did things in the areas that you want to learn. Royce had been training in jiu-jitsu since he was a child 130 years ago. And there's nothing there's nothing that he don't make fun of him for being a little slow there with that joke, because if he wasn't 140 years old, his brain would work quicker. In his 50s, his brain was snappy. So
he abuses you like this during training too. It's okay. We're gonna go rolling a little bit.
Okay,
I'll make my rules. Anywho,
Royce taught me a lot of things about jiu-jitsu, all of the proper technique and many interesting psychology tips as well. But I don't want to argue with him. I don't want to argue. I might say, hey, help me understand. Glover Teixeira show me this way. Gordon Ryan show me this way. Jake Shield show me this other thing, and you're showing me something a little different, Royce. Like help me understand, when do I do this? When do I do that? Help me understand when one option is better than the other. But I don't argue about it. I have no desire to argue. If any of these people are taking time out of their life to try to help you, it's best if you just shut up and follow instructions. And then later on, when you have a lot of instructions in your head, then you ask for clarification. Say, okay, when do I do this versus that? Help me understand the core concept. And I always talk like that with you and everybody. I always talk like this. I just want to understand. And the more I pay attention, and the more I listen to your advice and the advice of my other amazing coaches, my skills got better. So.
But you listen because a guy like Gordon Ryan, it works. He proved. Jake Shields, it worked. He did it. He's been there, done that. Yeah. And all the coaches that you have, you see, and Gilbert, it's like he's done that, been there, done that. It works. So if you follow, if you do it, it works. It gets to a point that, okay, now you're good enough that you can start to test it out, different things. Mm-hmm. So I understand that. But on the beginning, as you're learning, you got to follow the recipe.
Yeah, I think that's very smart. A smart person knows how to follow instructions until they have sufficient expertise that, then you can pick and choose on some items. You can say, oh, if I get result this way, sometimes I could get a result this way, sometimes I could get a result the opposite way. And every good entrepreneur is able to deal with contradictory information and understand, in this context we do A, in a different context we do the opposite of A. So it doesn't mean that we do A always. We have to understand the difference of what is the environment that we're in, what is the outcome that we have in mind in the midterm, long term, short term as well, I suppose. I don't care about the short term too much. I care about the midterm, long term. And if you can do that, you have very good results. If you don't know what the hell you're doing yet, and you're like, I don't want to read all this stuff, Derek, I'm just going to do it my way. Well, you're going to be very poor.
If you want to do your own way, why look for your help?
It's fine with me.
You see, if they come for your help, if I come to you for advice, you give me the advice, but I'm going to go, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to follow your advice. I'm going to do my own way. Why?
You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you the pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.